Hello, everybody. Give me a moment here. Okay. Hello, everyone. I bought a bit of Spider-Man and built a commander deck out of just Spider-Man set cards. A Brock Venom as commander actually plays pretty good against our decks. Nice. Happy to hear that for you. Today is going to be a day of reckoning, as some would say. No, not really. I don't know. Let's go sit here and kind of like talk today, chat. I have some notes here while we talk about the current goings-ons of Magic. Y'all know a drill. We'll give it 5. Why is... I am losing bitrate for some reason, chat. So, if stream is lagging, let me know. What is this? Oh. Thank you, YouTube. Very cool. Y'all know our drill. We sit here for 5 minutes, let people, hop in. Hope you're all doing very well on this fine, Sunday afternoon. Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Interested in building anti-venom. Might go for the no generic gimmick. The no generic gimmick? I am not sure I know what that means. Hello, everybody. You may notice that I do not have my my background lights on this stream. Like generic mana costs. I'm not sure that's even possible. I'm not sure there's enough cards for that. Maybe. So yeah, so you are here to discuss the pigs and slop post that has been making the rounds on Magic social media the past like week or so. And by extension, also here to discuss the state of Universe Beyond. Because I know it is there's a lot of like emotions going around, a lot of discussion, and I do kind of want to do a very like in-depth look at what Universe Beyond is looking like for the foreseeable future, and how it could adapt and change, and what effect it has on the game right now. My favorite flavor text on Wave of Indifference. Love to know yours. What is Wave of Indifference? It's a very old card, that's why. Darius, yeah. There's a goblin taking up on you. So, just saying. The one that always comes to mind for me is... If I could spell correctly, that'd be so cool. It'd be awesome. Thank you. Violent Ultimatum. Words are a waste of time. Destruction is a language everyone understands. Me when I cast Worldfire in my Commander game. What do you think of Fleam? Better or worse than Loot? Better. 100%. A 1 million billion gazillion times better than Loot. Loot's hideous. Fleam is too, but that's intentional. So what is this streaming about? We will get there. We'll give it like 5 more minutes, chat, for people to hop in here. Or like 4-ish. You shall see. You shall see. Naughty, naughty. You teasing me. Naughty, naughty. I think there's a lot of people who are just absolutely preying on Beast's downfall, and with Spider-Man stumbling, they're lining up to beat the dead horse and clown on it. I agree. It's a very valid point. I think a lot of the things that are being said right now are only being said because UB haters are using Spider-Man's flaw as a way to say, look, guys, look! Look, I'm right! You be bad! And it's disingenuous, obviously, because you can't... Because like it's very much like, look, Spider-Man bad. Ignore the Final Fantasy with 1 billion sales down the corner. No, don't look at that. Spider-Man bad. And therefore, Universe Beyond bad. Hey. Thing is, though, I have been waiting for some freaking spiders, and I get this. It actually makes me mad. Yep. What's that? Ishkana players. Shelob players. Nah. Give spiders a draw engine white in Selesnya. Hey. Because that makes sense, right? Oh my god. I bought a few edging packs and Final Fantasy packs because I actually missed those sets. As do many others. My favorite creator. Hey! Hello chat. Hello YouTube members. Hello Bounce Man Army. Hey. I don't know what to call y'all, honestly. I know I say like Bounce Manners sometimes, but like it's kind of like supposed to be stupid because I know it sounds stupid, but I've said it so much that I just kind of started using it unironically. Bouncers is baller. Alright, chat. I think we got enough people in here. For the moment. What's up, fellow? Do you live in the Bounce Mansion? Pff, I wish. It's like more like the House of Hope from Baldur's Gate 3. Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I actually did beat it for the second time recently. I did the Dark Urge line. That was fun. Wasn't as big of a difference as I thought it would be, honestly. But it was fun. Freddy Fazbear's a clanker. Okay. Look. Matter of fact, I didn't say that. No. I won't get canceled in 10 years. I respect all peoples, even machines. Okay. So, chat. Today, I am here to discuss the post. If you've been active in the Magic social media space, you've probably seen this text, this post, by Jeremy White, who is a long-time competitive Magic player. Alright? And to quote here, I can just drag the PNG. I wrote about what it felt like to be a competitive Magic player for the past 5 to 6 years. And they had the following to say. As a analogy. That's the term, hey. You have a favorite restaurant that you've dined at for many years now. You love it because they serve high quality food and are staffed by people who care about making the experience of eating at the restaurant good. One day, you notice a new item on the menu. Slop. Vine boom sound effect. What's this for? You ask the waiter. It's for the pigs. Pigs eat slop. Vine boom sound effect. Over time, a second flavor of slop shows up on the menu. Then a third. Then you notice that some of the old menu items you used to love now come with a non-optional side of slop. All menu items are now designed with the pigs in mind. Vine boom sound effect. On the chance that one of them might try their hand at human food, the quality and preparation of the human food that's on the menu also starts to degrade. When you ask the restaurant staff about it, they inform you that they no longer have the resources to make sure the human food is prepared correctly. They're too busy making slop. Vine boom sound effect. You notice that some of the restaurant patrons that you become good friends with have stopped showing up. You stop showing up. You are upset with the direction the restaurant is taking, and post about it on social media. You get 2 types of replies. 1, I am a pig and I eat slop. Or 2, the restaurant is doing so well and has so many patrons. How can you be upset? Getting more customers into the restaurant has to be a good thing. The second comment is particularly frustrating because it naively assumes that the entire restaurant clientele wants the same things. But you don't want 5 different flavors of slop. Vine boom sound effect. You want human food that is prepared by people who are passionate about food and who care about the experience of dining at the restaurant being a good one. It's something you used to be able to get here, but can't anymore. You don't care if there are more pigs eating at the restaurant now. You don't care if there are more pigs eating at the restaurant now. Vine boom sound effect. Hey! A $2 microtransaction from Trisaru. Thank you. I love money. You liked things just fine when there were no pigs. Vine boom sound effect. And contrary to the sentiment, things have gotten worse for you as the restaurant has grown, not better. So chat, I'm gonna make a poll for the whole stream. Just for fun. I don't know what to write down. Let's just pick. There we go. Okay, chat. So, hang on. I need to. Can I like? You know what? Here, I can do this. Just put it over here. There we go. Much better. Okay. Same treatment from a pig perspective would be awesome. Is the Slop UB? Yes, it is heavily implied that the Slop is UB. So, chat, you've seen the release schedule next year. We're getting 4 crossover sets and 3 in-universe sets. Good question, is Slop UB or Commander? Absolute Socrates. There is so much just like discussion happening around this, chat. I will 100% admit that it is in fact Slop. So here's the thing, chat. Slop to me, when I hear the term Slop, it implies to me that it is low effort, or there is a significant modicum of lack of effort compared to other content in the, I guess we'll say, source material here. So I don't think it's that. So I think the question that we first need to deduce is I think the question we need to deduce is Universe Beyond inherently low effort? Is there a significant visible lack of effort put into UB sets compared to non-UB products? And by extension, is Universe Beyond actually worse for Magic? So chat, I don't know if you know this, but assuming I have counted correctly. Hey! Lily with a $5 donation. Thank you so much. In my best Shaft that mill guy impression. Oink oink. So chat, I don't know if you know this, but assuming I have counted correctly, by 2027, by 2027, there will have been minimum 35 different IPs that have appeared in Magic. Did you know that? You probably thought it was like what, 15, 20? Nope. 35 by the time we hit 2027. You might hear that and think, wow, that's a lot. But one thing that I find very, very interesting is the dynamic of what actually is being counted as a Universe Beyond product. Because if you just go on, like, the MTG fandom wiki, this is how much of the UB product is secret layers. Like, what is it? Oh, okay, booster inserts from air decks, actual sets, beyond boosters, supplemental sets. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 8 of these have actually been real products. And so many of them have just been secret layers. What is a Beyond booster? A Beyond booster is Assassin's Creed. where it's like, it's the same thing that the Aftermath boosters were, where it's like, hey, you get 5 cards in one pack, and the set is like 80 cards big. So, chat, I want to go back to where it all started. I want to look through every major Universe Beyond product and deduce if we could say that this particular product is actually slop or low effort. With Walking Dead, where it all began. It was a lot of things that happened from this. A lot of things. We had Captain for a while. Before that guy pretty much got, like, there is no war in Ba Sing Said. Secret Lairs are ideally their own condensed kind of product as a cosmetic, even if it's absolutely absurd and stupid like White. I agree. I agree. Me personally, I agree with that statement. But the people don't. Unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on your perspective. I don't think slop equals effort. I think slop equals detracting from what magic is. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think slop to me implies that they're just like making whatever for the sake of being able to like constantly pump out content. It's like AI channels, right? Where they just like those like AI caption like clips of movies or shows. That's slop because there's no actual like human touch put into it. It's just pumping out content forever for the sake of appealing to an algorithm. I feel like that is the most broad term of slop that most people would gravitate towards. So it all started with Walking Dead. The very first UB Secret Lair. If you weren't here for this when it first started, oh my god. There was so much controversy around this set, dude. Like, people were begging the, at the time, creator RC to ban these cards before they even released as a sign of, like, defense against Wizards, as like a way to say, no, we're not gonna tolerate this. We're not gonna be okay with this. They didn't do that. A content creator made Captain, which was Commander, but not run by the rule RC. There was a Discord for it that got shut down in like a month because it got flooded with like just awful people. It was a very unsafe space. I think that person's legacy is still tainted by that whole thing. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, I suppose. I don't think that was their intention to make it a bad place, but regardless, it kind of ended up being that way. And I would say that the Walking Dead Secret Lair was dubious at best. This was their very first product. There was no way to really know how people would judge this. And by extension, as I'm sure you've probably seen it many times in chat at this point, a lot of people just don't really see UB Secret Lairs as a big deal. Because, A, they're pretty hard to actually come by in the wild. And 2, they do make versions of the cards that are in universe eventually. For now, but we'll get into that later. And of course, as time has gone on, we've gotten more and more, like, wacko secret lair cards. Like we had... we had Hatsune Miku get added to the game. That was kind of funny. With like a million different cards. Shout out to Laura, but Hatsune Miku. That's funny, right, guys? And could you argue that secret lairs where it's just, hey, let's slap a character from a different property onto a card that already exists and try to sell it for money? Could you argue that that's very sloppy? Honestly, yeah. I think you could. I guess the question is, like, because sometimes they make unique cards. Like we see with, what is it? Like, the God of War secret lair. That they'll make Mimir's Ancient Wisdom, but it's actually just Teferi's Insight with Mimir on the card from the game. But then also in this secret lair, there's a Kratos card that actually is functionally unique. So chat, I have a question for you all. What to you is lower effort? A UB secret lair that is just reprints of older cards with a crossover character slapped onto the art, or a UB secret lair that has functionally unique cards that actually do make an attempt to represent the character it is depicting? So what's more sloppy? New cards or reprints? With just a crossover character slapped on the card. Because to me, it'd be like low effort. Unique mechanics on you be a slop. Become it. Because then can become a staple. I don't know about that. What? I mean, do we think Kratos is becoming a staple? I'll make a poll for this. That way it's actually easy to understand. Because I think I'm not really good at wording things sometimes, chat. We can agree. For secret lairs specifically. There we go. So what's more sloppy, chat, for a secret lair? New, functionally unique cards or reprints with crossover art? Because I would think that a UB secret lair with new cards is less sloppy, because that means that they are putting in effort to design a card for the character that makes sense. I misclicked. I voted wrong. Well, too bad. Illusion of choice mentioned. Do you do any MTG gameplay content? I would love to do Commander content, like, but I don't have people in person that want to do that, so I kind of can't, unfortunately. Maybe I can get webcam gameplay going at some point, but seems not in the near future. I have done arena content once in a while, but arena, every time it looks like they'll finally make arena good, they make it worse. So, awesome. And I ain't sticking by that. Hell no. If they make a card and is limited under a $30 paywall, get out. I want a card that I can buy with boosters, not website. Valid. So I think it seems like the people in chat think that Secret Lairs being... It seems people in my chat think that UB Secret Lairs are dubious at best for being defined as slop or low effort. But don't forget, chat, we did progress from the Walking Dead Secret Lair to actual booster inserts in the middle of sets. Why is this the... Back in Ikoria, you could pull essentially just alters of in-universe cards as UB cards. You could instead of opening Bracos, Apex and Forever, you could open BioCort Space Godzilla. You could do that back then. And many people at the time felt like this was the perfect balance, and no one really had any problems with being able to open altars in your main set. But it did progress. I think, roughly a year or two down the line, it progressed to the Transformers booster inserts with cards like the CEDH Menace of Slicer Higher Muscle. So you could open this with the cartoon art from the Brothers War packs. So chat, do we think that the booster inserts of UB cards are sloppy or low effort? Booster inserts of alt art cards are fine. Mechanically unique cards with no universal problem. I think it just kind of go in line with a question I have later on. So I'm glad you said that. God, I would love if I could just cut map. You know what? Can I like? There we go. Let's do this. There we go. Okay. much better. If I can get a card from a booster, it's not Slop. Now, people in the poll seem to be mostly agreeing that booster insert UB products are not Slop. If you can open UB cards as part of a main, keep in mind, chat, this was a in-universe set. You open the Transformer cards in the middle of your Brother's War pack. Don't forget that. So you could see Urza and Slicer in the same pack, I think. Maybe not actually, but something along those lines. You understand what I'm saying. And it seems like my chat, at least, has no problem with that. But you know, secret lairs, booster inserts, these are pretty minor. Like, no one really cares that much about secret lairs. No one really cares that much about booster inserts. You know, who cares? I think the real thing that everyone actually cares about is the actual products, and that is the big sets, or by extension, commander decks. So, chat. Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k. Did you like the Warhammer 40k decks, chat? And if so, why? I want to hear your perspective. I want to hear why you all liked this set, or why you didn't like it. Do you think the Warhammer 40k decks were sloppy? They are fantasy adjacent. You know what's funny? I've actually met some people who feel the opposite. I've met many people who feel like Warhammer is not fantasy enough. It's too like science heavy. UB sets are very hit or miss. I love Warhammer 40k. Warhammer is similar to Neo Kamigawa in that even though there are robots and technology, they somehow fit MTG art. Hell yeah, they were unique, good design, good direction, good mechanics, the best set ever. Very interesting. Now, as I'm sure you're seeing in chat, everyone kind of liked these decks. The cards were cool, the decks were fun, and people felt like the IP fit with Magic. There were very little complaints about this set overall. It was pretty good. Now, chat. What about Fallout? Hmm? Do we think Fallout is sloppy? I love Mothman. But why do you love Mothman? Is it because you think it's fantasy adjacent, the same way Warhammer is? See, here's the thing, right? I did highlight this in my most recent video. The term of not fitting in Magic is so subjective, and it feels like... No, it is subjective. Like, it feels like there is no community-agreed consensus, it feels like, minus Spider-Man, of what does and doesn't fit in Magic. Fallout literally does not have magic in it at all. You cannot cast spells in Fallout. At all. It is a ruined version of modern day society. And yet my chat is saying that Fallout feels like it fits in Magic. How is that possible? How is that possible? Now, I'll agree with you. Where is he? Mothman was amazing. Radiation. People loved how Radiation played. Destroyed New York versus literally New York is a big difference. Is it though? Because like it's still New York. It's still a real life place being depicted on a Magic card, even if a fictional depiction of said real life place. Right? But my chat is saying that Fallout does not feel sloppy. And I agree. Because let's be real. These decks, just like Warhammer, were very fun. Radiation was awesome. Dog meat. It's a dog. Look at him. He's adorable. He's awesome. Was fun. Energy deck. Yeah. That one was less good. But hey, more energy stuff. That's cool. Hey. Kaiser. Legion's Emperor. People liked these decks. People felt like these decks were high effort. They were fun to play. And as a result, most people feel like these decks were not slop. Now, the most dubious one of all, chat, and you could probably guess what I'm about to say by now at this point. Actually, it is, Marvin, because Kaiser literally says his own name that way in the games. I know we would say Caesar, but in the game, he actually does call himself Kaiser. Now, chat. Is Doctor Who slop? I think I do think that this product was kind of Wizards dipping their toes in questionable waters, because when this was spoiled, lots of people were like, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one. There's no magic in Doctor Who. It's all sci-fi. There's time travel and TARDISes and I don't know, sonic screwdrivers. Hey! Does this community like everything? Hey. Doctor Who is fun. Look, man. That's a real city. That is a real city in that art. I'm just saying. The game design is so cool, but not the flavor. But see, that's the thing, though. The game design being cool to me, I think implies that it is not slop. Because if the game design is cool, there was enough effort put into the product that people can consider it not slop, even if the IP is too real life adjacent. The line seems to be if the play patterns are fire, so this means Dragon Maze is slop. I'm glad you said that. So here, chat, I have another question for you, alright? A literal in-universe set, again, I did kind of discuss this in my other video, but do we think... I need a good picture. Hang on, wait. Here we go. Did we think that mild inconveniences at Carlisle Manor was slop? Now, see, it's interesting. When I ask my chat if Carlisle Manor, a literal in-universe set, is slop, the overwhelming majority says yes. But why? So, chat, I want to hear your answers. What is it to you that makes you feel like Carlisle Manor is slop? It's only slop because it feels low effort. Now, what would you say qualifies as low effort, chat? Because here's the thing, right? What's lower effort? Trying to put a spin on a plane that kind of adheres towards a certain trope to try and see if your players like it, or just taking Preston Garvey and slapping on a card. Most of the mechanics are just uninspired reskins of existing things that don't do anything new or exciting. It doesn't feel good to play. The theme is one thing, but the cards are all over the place. For a set known to be a 2-color combo all the way, all the characters in the story don't drive a theme. So, chat, in order to make sure this segment doesn't go on for 2 more hours, because I have like 5 more footnotes here for sets, can we agree that the only thing that really determines if a MTG product is slop is if the card design is good? Is that something that I can get most of my chat to agree with? Because Doctor Who, despite it being a IP that is very, very similar to real life, it shows real life depictions, people say it's not slop. Because the card designs were cool. Time travel was cool. Chat saying yes. So look, I'll skip. Okay, actually, no. Okay, no. I'll do one more. I'll do one more question. One more question. One more set question. Because I am curious about this one too. Assassin's Creed, chat. Do we think that Assassin's Creed is low effort or slop? My chat is saying yes, because the cards sucked. Now remember, chat, this set did give us a lot of good reprints. Sword of Feast and Famine, hey! That's pretty good. This set was also, very, very small, and only came in Beyond boosters, hey! 7 cards in 1 pack! Or 6, or 8, or whatever the number was. So, chat, seems to be, granted, a little more 50-50 for this set. But what is it to you that makes you think that Assassin's Creed as a set is slop? Is it the card design? Did we not like the Assassin Kindred theme? Too many real-world names and references. So, chat. Seems like we don't like this set because, you know, it has too much real-life stuff, right? Leonardo da Vinci. But I raise you this. If Leonardo wasn't this wall of text and instead made painting tokens that are copies of creatures, except they are artifacts and not creatures, would that be cool to you? Interesting. So it really does seem like the only legitimate factor that impacts, if not just Universe Beyond, but any Magic product to Slop, is the card designs. Is it allowed to ask your opinion on a random card? I mean, if it's relevant to the stream, sure. So I could sit here and go over Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy, and I think we can pretty safely say everyone here would be like, yeah, good set, not Slop, because the cards are actually cool and had a cool designs. The sets were fun. The cards are fun to play. The cards well designed. It was a cool set. So, let's just skip to the end here of this section. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Come on now. Come on now. I've kind of... Look, man. You Spider-Man players, y'all who got into the game through a set, I'm so sorry. Because I know it has to suck seeing so many people just kind of like dogging on your set. Spider-Man. It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. Like, dude, look, the only cool card here is Behold the Sinister Six. You know why? Because you can do this. Behold the Sinister Six! And then it's kind of funny, I guess. The cards... I've said it before, I'll say it again. A lot of these cards just feel like It is the most random lines of text just slapped on the cards. When Miles enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Did ChatGPT make this card? ChatGPT, I need a 2-mana mythic that has a relevant effect. I got this. And when he transforms into Ultimate Spider-Man. He has camouflage. I'll be so real, bro. I don't even remember him having some kind of, like, camouflage ability. Or did he? Actually, no, he did, actually, I think. He could, like, make his suit translucent, I think. Or something. I don't remember. So that makes sense. But then why does he double the counters on spiders? Miles can turn invisible and had electricity powers. Okay, cool. Then why doesn't he bolt things? So, chat, I do want to highlight one problem with this. As we all know, I think it's pretty much confirmed, but not technically. Spider-Man was supposed to be the same kind of set as Assassin's Creed, where it's a very, very small set. You were designed to open the set in the form of, like, 7 card boosters. And last minute, they kind of just, like, jammed a bunch of commons into the set for the sake of making it not beyond boosters. I have asked this on stream before. I'm going to say it again. I question if what we got is actually worse than what we would have gotten had they just not touched it and left it alone as beyond boosters. Get my boy Masked Meower on screen. Masked Meower! Does a cat have a way to bring itself back? No. The cat can kill itself to draw you a card. What? Like, here's the thing, right, chat? I can virtually guarantee you that if the set had been kept as Beyond Boosters, we would not have gotten City Pigeon. We would not have gotten Passenger Ferry. We would not have gotten Bagel and Schmear. Oh my god, this set's terrible! What? And I question how much of this set, like, do these cards' mere presence in the set make the set feel worse? I kind of feel like it does. I question how much of the set is being hurt just by the commons literally existing. Like, bro. Because not only are these cards unplayable, they distract you. Because, like, I feel like the New York aesthetic isn't super noticeable in the actual rares of the set. Maybe that's copium? Like, you kind of can't tell in Gwenum. Mr. Negative is just in some lab of some kind. Electro you can't tell. Electro you can't tell. Like, chat, a lot of people want an Invincible set. And for, like, seasons 1 through 3, like, 90% of the time, Mark, the main character, is on Earth. Lots of Invincible fans want an Invincible set. Even though it takes place in real life, the same way, okay, well, a fictional depiction of real life, the same way Spider-Man does. And Invincible has an entire arc of alternate realities, or alternate dimensions, the same way Spider-Man does. But don't forget, we will visit New York back 2 more times next year. Already I'm planning we'll visit more than in-universe ones. And another thing I want to mention, chat. Like, I think we can all agree, an issue not with the set, but with the IP, is that when you have to work with 20 different versions of character but slightly different, I think we can all safely say the ceiling for design potential is very, very low compared to, I don't know, literally every other UP set we've gotten. Like, dude, this was the first Marvel set. Wizards made a contract with Marvel to make multiple Marvel sets. And when they announced it, we were all like, bro, what? And we get here, and it's like, oh, wait, this is like... Is Peter different from Miles? Different in, like, Miles has lightning powers and can turn invisible, whereas Peter can't. They're both still Spider-Man. Doctor Who made it work. There was 15 of the same guy with different personality traits. Yeah, you know what? You got me. Family Guy set when? Bro, Peter better have, like... Start a Magic sub-game, and it's like, cutaway gag. Hey, Lois! Remember that time you fought Nicol Bolas and a giant chicken? No, it would not be a peak, bro. I don't want Shahrazad in a standard legal design. Peter Griffin. Start a Magic sub-game. Cutaway gag. You each at 1 life. If you win the game. They should hire me to make car designs. I'm literally thinking of these on the fly, and my chat loves them. Cutaway gag, instant end the current phase, play only during your turn. Like, I think the command zone misses as well, but I think Spider-Man was the first time ever in the game's history that we've seen so many players take a stand to consciously not buy Spider-Man. Like, my entire play group was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna buy the set because I actively want this to stop. I'm not going to buy Spider-Man because I actively want Spider-Man to flop so that Universe Beyond gets hurt by it. It's just, it's interesting. It's easy to not buy because I have no interest in the cards. But what if you did because the cards were actually coolly designed? But what if it was because the set actually had cool designs? Doctor Who had them as a face of their deck, but Spider-Man is just Spider-Man all the way down. True. So I think we can... So chat. I pose yet another question for you all. Is a set being Universe Beyond all it takes for you to be able to consider it as slop? And I think for the most part, based off of our analysis here, the answer is no. People liked Final Fantasy, loved Final Fantasy, people loved Lord of the Rings, people loved Doctor Who, Fallout, Warhammer, all of those sets were cool. So chat, that takes us to our next topic that a lot of people will say as a criticism of Universe Beyond, and that is that Universe Beyond doesn't feel like Magic. Now, you will a lot of the time only see this take from people who are avid just UB haters. They hate everything related to Universe Beyond. They think it's all bad, regardless of what it is. And as a result, they don't say it out loud, but what they actually mean is Universe Beyond doesn't feel like Magic, therefore it's bad. When someone says that, there's a really good chance that that's what they actually mean. Which, as we just saw, is not true. People loved Final Fantasy. People loved Warhammer. People loved the Wise Mothman. So it feels like Magic because they're Magic cards with Magic designs and all. Like this entire complaint, criticism if you can call it that, this entire complaint if you can call it that, is extremely subjective and is largely dependent on just purely the card designs. We can pretty safely say now, card designs are the one and maybe only big factor in determining if a set is actually fun. The only other one I can say is maybe art, which I'm not going to deny, Spider-Man's art does feel lackluster compared to other sets. We saw it with Karloff Manor. People didn't like this set because the cards sucked. Thunder Junction, people didn't like because while plot was cool, plot as a mechanic's pretty cool with, what was it? Me include do UB. That wasn't a UB. Okay, they had a UB subset as part of a set, but Karloff itself wasn't a UB product. Clue UB is real. Yes, it is. And I feel like everyone ignores that because we didn't know how we didn't even know how to get those cards. I don't think. I still kind of don't know. Didn't Thunder Junction give us loot? I'm glad you asked. People thought plot was cool. I think so. I mean, it's just Foretell Plus, which, then again, one of the biggest complaints about modern design is that a lot of new mechanics are just old mechanic plus. Which we also saw with Karloff Manor with Disguise. Ugh. Which we also saw in Karloff Manor with Disguise. Ugh, Disguise. I love Disguise. I love Disguise. I love Disguise. I love Morph, but my creatures have Ward 2 and face down. Why? Like, it really does feel like the only thing that actually determines if a Magic set or product is actually slop is if the set has bad card designs. Actually, wait. Actually, no, don't do that. Design as in how the card plays. If I'm being honest, like, the complaint of UB doesn't feel like Magic, I really just think is largely from boomers who've been playing since Urza Block. until we had Spider-Man, the hardcore UB haters really had nothing to point at as evidence to the claim that a product not being in universe is all it takes for a set to be bad. Pretty much every UB product before this one was a success. But now that that Spider-Man flopped, all of the magic boomers are trying to use this as evidence. Like, guys, look, Spider-Man bad. That's evidence that you be bad. Yeah, guys. What's that? Final Fantasy? No. Don't look at that. Don't look Final Fantasy. Ignore that. Fallout? No. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that, dude. It's Spider-Man bad. Spider-Man bad. Therefore, you be bad. That's all it takes. As I've proven now, both in this stream and the video I just released, like, 2 days ago, the phrase doesn't feel like magic makes no sense. There is no consistent basis from players on what that means. Because if the reasoning for Spider-Man not being magic is because there's no actual magic in the IP, then by extension, Fallout also should have failed because it's not magic. Which brings me to my next point, chat. Another concern that players have shown is Universes Beyond overtaking magic? And I think there's a lot, actually, of evidence to this claim. Let me move this over here. Matter of fact, hang on, wait. Can I... Yes. Next year, we are getting 3 in-universe sets and 4 crossover sets. We know now that this is TMNT. Now, notably, all of these UB sets, minus The Hobbit, lack magic in the IP. The TMNT has no spellcasting. Star Trek is exclusively sci-fi the same way Doctor Who is. Marvel superheroes. I mean, like, do you count Doctor Strange as magic? Maybe? I don't know. I wouldn't. And I think it's actually a pretty relevant point. You know, it's very easy to say that Magic is being overtaken by UB when so many of these UB sets literally don't even have Magic in their IP, which is literally the name of our game. The name of our game literally is Magic. And Chad, if you didn't know that right now, today, over 30% of all legends in Magic, legendary creatures, are now from Universe Beyond. Which is a staggering number, considering the fact that we've only had UB for what? 6 years? 5 years? But I think the question... I do believe the question should rather be not, is Magic being overtaken by Universe Beyond, but rather, is Universe Beyond Magic? And I think, yeah, we can say, you know, Universe Beyond is Magic. I'll pull it too, just so we're clear. Like, look, love it or hate it, there have been UB sets, several UB sets, almost every one besides Assassin's Creed and Spider-Man, that players loved. Despite being a Universe Beyond product. I would generally say that if a Universe Beyond set plays well, feels fun to play, then that's all that matters. The issue is when you get Spider-Man, and that's not fun. And by extension, there is I think a big concern that a lot of players have is, well, instead of something cool in universe we could have had, we got this instead. It could have been better. If Universe Beyond didn't exist, we wouldn't have Spider-Man, and instead we'd have Return to Alara, or Return to, I don't fucking know, Mercadia. Return to Mercadia. The problem, the unspoken problem that I think a lot of players have with Universe Beyond is the fear that Universe Beyond is taking away from what could have been. For the sake of something that's not worthwhile. For example, again, Spider-Man fans, I'm sorry, but your set is generally not liked. And look, like I said, Wizards has stated that the 4 UB sets, 3 Universe sets is an irregularity. it's something that they don't plan on repeating. But as many players have pointed out, Wizards has gone back on their word many times. We were told that Universe Beyond would never enter Standard. We were told that Universe Beyond would always get a in-universe version of the card. So it is understandable that many players are afraid that the whole of Universe Beyond goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And look, you can be like me, alright? You can be someone who stands firm that UB does have positives. I think there are a lot of people who recognize that UB is not all negative, and maybe even believe UB is only positive. You know, a lot of people say, you know, UB is bringing in a lot of new players, where more people are playing Magic than ever because of Universe Beyond. But one thing that I find interesting is I have been getting people in my comments who say they got into the game through Universe Beyond, and yet they are also starting to get burnout from the amount of Universe Beyond. And yet, Universe Beyond is what is raking in the most money for Hasbro. And I think one thing that a lot of people maybe don't even realize, even like UB supporters, that they don't realize they may be supporting towards, is that the Fortnite pipeline is real. Alright? You know, people say, oh, you know, Magic is not going to completely get rid of the in-universe IP. They're not going to just stop doing in-universe sets. They're not going to do that, right? Why would they? People still like in-universe sets. So why would they do that? Wait. Matter of fact, hang on. Let me get some more fitting music here. That's the wrong one. Wait. Mark Rosewater himself has stated that story is very, very low on priority for design nowadays. He's literally said that. And one thing that I think a lot of people don't recognize is that Hasbro... Thank you for 2-hour donation, Trav. The slippery slope of IP Slop. I think I lost train of thought. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, please. Notes. Where have my notes? Oh. One thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that there is potential that a lot of the things are happening. There is potential that a lot of the things that are happening are happening because Hasbro has a gun to WotC's head and is saying, hey, make me money. Now. And there is no line that Hasbro will not cross to make money. I think Saffron Olive made a video where, like, literally 90% of Hasbro's revenue is from Wizards. And if you don't believe me that there is no line that Magic won't cross, Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro himself, has literally said, don't be surprised if you see us poking into Romantasy. Don't be surprised if you see us looking at K-pop bands. Nothing is off the table. A lot of the people who support UB, myself included, kind of subconsciously think that it's not going to get worse. You know, the Universe Beyond will not get to a point where it overtakes the in-universe sets or the in-universe product. Everyone who is reasonable and is not all UB bad, I don't think it's unfair to say that we subconsciously believe that it will not overtake the in-universe stuff. It can. It can and it will. If what keeps happening is UB sets sell like crazy, like Final Fantasy, and in-universe sets suck, like Carlisle Manor and Junction, and okay, not Spider-Man. The pipeline of Magic going full Fortnite and completely abandoning in-universe stuff is real. It could happen. You probably hear that and think, oh, no, Bounce Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. They wouldn't do that. Surely they wouldn't abandon Jace and Chandra and Liliana and Nicol Bolas. They wouldn't do that. Surely not. Hey, chat. Can anyone here tell me what Fortnite's roots were? What was Fortnite supposed to be before the Battle Royale game it became? What was Fortnite supposed to be before it became the Battle Royale game? It was a zombie survival game. It was a defensive shooter where you and friends would build defenses to defend against a horde of PvE enemies. Fortnite makes a Battle Royale mode just randomly, just because it can. And it goes crazy. Right? And look where it is now. Every single IP you can possibly think of. Did my music stop? Okay. Every IP you can think of is in Fortnite now. We just had K-pop Demon Hunters added to that game, I think I saw. It is possible. I know it might sound insane. It might sound crazy to hear it. But the pipeline of Magic going full Fortnite and abandoning Jace and Loot and Chandra in favor of just going full crossover, and we get 6 crossover sets a year, is real. It could happen. So, if you don't want to see that happen, what can you do? What can you do to stop Universe Beyond from actually... What can you do to stop Universe Beyond from actually overtaking Magic. I'll tell you what. That's bad. Wait. Hang on. Whoa, wait, chat. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Lord Wind Eclipsed. If you want to do your part to prevent Universe Beyond from overtaking Magic as a whole, you need to buy Lord Wind Eclipse. Y'all need to make Lorwyn a best-selling set. You need to show Hasbro that in-universe sets can sell well. Encourage your peers, your friends, encourage everyone you know to buy Universe Beyond. Or no, God, no, oh, God, oh, Super Agent, no, oh. You need to encourage everyone you know. You need to encourage everyone you know. You need to encourage everyone you know to spend money on in-universe product and not buy crossover product. Is Universe Beyond bad for the game? Entirely. Right now, I would say no. We are not at a point where it is doing more harm than good for the game. But I do think we are very close. You know, we've been told that 4 UB sets a year is an irregularity. It's not the new norm. It could happen. It could happen. We could progress to 4 crossover products a year. We could progress to the game just abandoning our actual universe IP entirely. And I don't think it's unfair to say that no one wants that. I don't think anybody here wants it to happen where Jace, Chandra, Garuk, they all get lined up, bags get thrown over their heads, and they all get shot. We don't want that. We don't want that. So, if you want to prevent the Universe Beyond completely overtaking Magic, spend money on Lorwyn, Strixhaven, and Reality Fracture, and don't buy anything from Marvel Heroes, not Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, TMNT, and Star Trek. Just look, man. I understand. Look, I get it. The sets are fun sometimes. I get it. And look, let's be honest. I don't think we mind if sometimes we get really fun sets like Final Fantasy. I don't think we mind if we get 2 UB sets a year. The sentiment I've seen from people is, hey, 2 UB sets a year, I'm down. 2 crossover products a year, I'm cool with that. I wouldn't mind. I want to be clear. I don't think Universe Beyond is bad for the game. I don't think Universe Beyond is evil or a bad malevolent force of the game. But I do think that if we keep spending so much money on UB product and not in-universe product, Magic could potentially go full Fortnite. And every Magic character we know will get sent to the void, never to be seen again. And we don't want that. So, buy Lord Eclipse, buy Strixhaven, buy Reality Fracture, and do not buy the UB sets this year. But you know what's funny, chat? You know what's funny? There is a pivotal moment in time where the universe beyond what's the word here? The universe is beyond problem began. And it all began with a single character. Unsealed from his chamber. Designed to keep this monstrosity hidden from the world forever. This disgusting creature. This awful. Just awful. Ever since this guy got introduced to this game, it has been nothing but downhill. Nothing. I cannot stand this guy. Everywhere I go, I cannot avoid him. He appears in my foundation set. He appears in my foundation set. He appears in my Goofy racing set. He even appears in the background of sets where he's not even there. Everywhere I go, I see him. Everywhere I look, I cannot avoid him. Chat, look. Reality Fracture releases in October. We need to lend our energy to the universe. If we all pray hard enough. If we all pray hard enough and give our energy to the spirit riders of magic, Loot will die. And then, and only then, can magic be saved. Thank you all so much for watching. A big thank you to my YouTube members. If you want to consider becoming a member, not only will you support directly, you will also get access to member exclusive emotes, such as Loot Cheems for emotes, and a member exclusive Discord server, where you and your fellow Bounce Manners can hang out in VC with me, hey! To play Commander. 5 gift memberships from Trav. Thank you so much. That is crazy. Oh my god! Hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Yeah, gang. How we feeling, chat? I mean, look. Like I said, I don't. Let's have a little chill period now. Now the content's over. How we doing? How we feeling, chat? Oh my god! I don't really get the UB will take over Magic thing when all the best selling sets are UB. I think we've done it already. So, have you ever heard the phrase, 1 is happenstance, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern? Right now, we're at coincidence. Right now, we are at coincidence phase. 2 sets being the best-selling sets of Magic isn't enough to determine if UB is the best path forward for Hasbro, money-wise. You know, everyone thought that Lord of the Rings would, you know, nothing would top it. Nothing would ever possibly beat Lord of the Rings in terms of money. And then we had Final Fantasy. And it blew it out of the water. Literally before the set even came out, it beat Lord of the Rings. Which is insane. But if, you know, come the end of 2026, TMNT beats all the universe sets, Star Trek beats all the universe sets, you know, if we have 2, God forbid, 3 or 4 UB sets that all are pulling numbers similar to Lord of the Rings, and none of the universe sets can even come close to that, well, that just makes the fortnightfication of Magic a lot easier for Hasbro to go ahead and pull the trigger on. It could happen. You know, you hear that and you might think, oh, that's insane, Mass Man. That's crazy. They never do that. Oh, they will. Oh, they will. So if you want to save Fibblethip from getting a bag thrown over his head and getting shot, spend money on in-universe sets and don't buy UB this year. Again, I don't think we hate the idea of 2 UB sets a year. We're not against that, I don't think. We wouldn't mind if the 2 UB sets this year were Marvel Heroes and The Hobbit. We'd be okay with that, I think. Or hell, yeah, like TMNT The Hobbit. We wouldn't mind. It's those 2 sets plus Star Trek plus the other one. What is it? I already forgot. The Heroes. Marvel Heroes. That's the issue. The government wouldn't do that. Fibblethip should have been loot. Oh, for getting killed, you mean? Yeah, I agree. Everything begins with him. Mutant Teenager 2 will still don't forget. Hey, I know. Honestly, like, okay, you know, since we're here, I'll be real. Thank you for the membership, Razor. Welcome. I'll be real, right? Since you are here with the talking about Universe Beyond, I will say the art direction this time around does seem a lot better compared to Spider-Man. Like, there's way more actual contrast here compared to, like, what is it? Peter Parker. I would think the main face card of the set, and his backside is, like, just super dull in terms of color. Donatello is crazy here, bro. He's like, there's like the light from the TV screens, like the light above him lighting up the desk. Like, it actually does look not bad so far, I'll be honest. I think the card designs do kind of feel not super evocative of the characters. Like, Donatello makes mutagen tokens. Okay. Leonardo cares about tokens? Why? Michelangelo wants you to have a lot of lands, and when he dies, he just doesn't? Okay. The designs are pretty weird. But I do think that the art direction is a lot better. Remember our goal, chat. We must stay focused. We must stay focused, brothers and sisters. We must stay focused, brothers and sisters. Like, so far, it looks cool. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Hang on. Oh, God. Do we like the Pizza Lands, chat? I'm not sure we do. Like, they're okay. Look, I'll be honest. They're funny. They're kind of funny. The mushroom swamp is kind of cool. The mushroom thing and Black Man symbol is kind of funny. They're kind of funny. Oh my God, this is terrible. Why is this here? Like, okay, in lore, you pull mana from land. Pizza is not a mass of land. Like, they're funny, but I don't fuck with it just because it kind of doesn't vibe with what lands are supposed to be. SpongeBob nasty foghorn noises. Thank you for the $2 donation from Trav. Majora's Mask bell sound effect. There's also partner character select. I don't know what this is. Because isn't the commander precon 5 colors? So how are you supposed to play partners if you are playing a 5 color deck? The pizza bundle. Yeah, I did see that actually. Let me pull it. TMNT MTG set. Is it on here? I think it is. Maybe, hopefully. Yes, okay. So, pizza bundles, chat. Grab a slice of the pizza bundle. Hey! 9 play boosters, 1 collector booster, 25 non-foil pizza lands. Oh my God, this thing's terrible! 5 traditional foil pizza mystic lands, 2 traditional foil pizza bundle promo cards, 1 oversized spin down life counter, 1 card storage box, and 2 reference cards. And then there's a normal bundle with, I guess, just what it normally would contain. And then the pizza bundle, I guess, just has like all the pizza lands. Okay. There's draft night. I don't. Why are we? Okay. Why are we trying to make pick 2 draft a thing? Didn't everyone say it sucks? There's also a weird like PvE mode with this set too. There's turtle team up. I don't really think anyone cares about this. Pizza bundle does have a single collector booster in it as well. So it'll be $100 for this, by the way. Or 140, 160, something like that. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know. The set does seem a lot cooler than I thought it'd be. I think we were all fairly concerned that it was gonna have the same problem Spider-Man had, where the art would suck, the card designs would be really, really bad. Like, I'll be honest, having the card designs be bad and have the art be bland and uninspiring is awful. I think only having one of the two be an issue for the TMNT set is much better. If the art is amazing, but the cards are meh, that's way better than the art sucks and the card designs suck. I feel could be extra cards with the commander symbol, like promos. Maybe like how Innistrad had Umbris, even though there was no Umbris commander deck. Maybe, or like we had what was it, Linda, the Grixis Curse girl. There was her. She was in, and like it has the commander symbol, even though it's actually not in the commander decks. It might be like that. You might be right, actually, Victor. You might be right. Well, chat, I think that pretty much ends our business here today. I love y'all. Thank you all so much for all the donations and memberships today. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out for our intervention, our TED Talk about Universe Beyond. I love y'all. Curiously, would y'all want to see some more Yu-Gi-Oh content from me while we're here? I know I did, I built a Yu-Gi-Oh deck in Magic, and that video actually is the best performing video on my channel. The 10-Pie Dragon one. Like, that was the first ever video I think I had that ever broke 5-digit view count, which was insane to see. Thank you all so much for support on that. I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do one more video like that at least, and maybe even more in the future. Because I mean, I'll be honest, I enjoy making it. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is fun, and I do think, people are kind of getting burnt out on Magic right now. So, offering a healthy alternative is, I don't know. I think it's fun to do, cool to do. If we as a community could branch out to Yu-Gi-Oh, so that I, as a creator, have more materials to work with, I would love that. But if y'all don't, because y'all don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh, I get it. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see you all next time.